Remember the 90s? The neon lunchboxes, the Saturday morning cartoons, the vending machines at school that ate your quarters and spat out colorful sugar bombs. Back then, we didn't think twice about what we were eating. Bright colors, crazy gimmicks, and wacky textures. The wilder, the better. Parents packed our lunches with whatever was on sale, and commercials promised us fun in every bite. But here's the scary truth. A lot of the things we grew up begging for in grocery aisles would never survive today. Between banned ingredients, dangerous gimmicks, and straight-up health nightmares, the 90s were a junk food jungle dressed up in bright packaging. Tonight, we're taking you on a trip down memory lane, but this isn't the kind of nostalgia that leaves you smiling. These are the 10 snacks from the 90s that would almost certainly be banned today. Number 10. Fingos. General Mills thought they were reinventing breakfast in 1993. Fingos were cereal chips. Yes, chips you ate with your hands, straight out of the box. No milk, no bowl, just greasy, powdery cereal dust on your fingers. The idea was to make cereal more portable, but all it did was create a frankenfood no one asked for. Packed with artificial flavorings and stabilizers to keep the crunch, Fingos blurred the line between breakfast and junk food. Add in the fat and sodium that rivaled a bag of chips, and you've got a snack that looked wholesome in cereal branding but ate like junk food in disguise. Number 9. Crazy Cow cereal. Crazy Cow sounded innocent enough. Chocolate or strawberry-flavored corn puffs that turned your milk into neon sugar milk. But this cereal was more chemical experiment than breakfast. It was loaded with sugar, artificial colors, and flavor enhancers that gave it a sweet punch, but left kids bouncing off the walls. Nutritionists later slammed cereals like Crazy Cow for marketing themselves as fun when they were basically candy in a box. It was discontinued, but not before leaving behind a generation of kids who thought cereal should taste like dessert. Today, something this artificially loaded would get dragged on social media the moment it hit shelves. Number 8. Snackwell's Devil's Food Cookies. Ah yes, the fat-free craze of the 90s. Snackwell's Devil's Food. Cookies were sold as the guilt-free dessert. Rich, chocolatey, and somehow healthy. But the dirty little secret? To make up for the lack of fat, they were crammed with sugar, refined flour, and chemical stabilizers. One serving spiked blood sugar like a candy bar, leaving kids on a roller coaster of energy crashes. Doctors now look back at Snackwell's as the poster child for how fat-free labeling tricked America into eating worse. The cookie aisle was never the same, and neither were waistlines. Number 7. Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Not many snacks come with their own horror stories, but these gummy bears do. Sweetened with maltitol, a sugar substitute that your body struggles to digest, Haribo's sugar-free gummies became infamous for the same reason Wow chips did: catastrophic digestive side effects. Online reviews from the early 2000s described cramps, bloating, and diarrhea, enough to send adults running to the bathroom in agony. Imagine handing these out in a 90s classroom. These gummies proved the hard way that sugar-free didn't mean safe. Number 6. Candy cigarettes. Here's a throwback that makes you wonder what adults were thinking. Candy cigarettes looked exactly like the real thing. White sticks, powdered tips that smoked when you blew on them, and branding that mimicked Marlboro and Camel. The problem? They normalized smoking for kids, making it look cool long before you were old enough to understand addiction. By the late 90s, critics had enough, and many countries banned candy cigarettes altogether. Today, you'd never get away with a candy that literally trained children to play smoker. Number 5. Toxic waste nuclear sludge candy. The name should have been a warning. Marketed as the most sour candy on the planet, toxic waste came in bright wrappers with a cartoon hazard barrel. Kids dared each other to keep the sour strip on their tongue as long as possible, turning snack time into a contest of pain tolerance. But in 2011, tests showed that some flavors contained unsafe levels of lead. That's right, lead in candy marketed to children. Lead exposure is no joke. It can damage developing brains, cause behavioral problems, and trigger lasting health effects. The candy was pulled from shelves, but not before kids across the 90s and early 2000s lined their tongues with something that could poison them. Looking back, toxic waste wasn't just sour. It was toxic in every sense of the word. Number 4. Wonder Ball. Remember the jingle? What's in the Wonder Ball? Chocolate on the outside, a toy surprise on the inside. Kids loved them, parents bought them in bulk, and Nestlé sold millions. But here's the problem. Toys inside food is a disaster waiting to happen. The plastic figurines inside were small enough to choke on, and kids were biting into them without realizing. Regulators eventually cracked down, forcing Wonder Balls off the shelves. It wasn't just a gimmick gone wrong. It was an object lesson in how toy marketing could turn deadly when mixed with candy. Today, you'd never see a candy marketed with hidden choking hazards. Nostalgic? Absolutely. Safe? Not even close. Number 3. Easy squirt-colored ketchup. It wasn't technically a snack, but it might as well have been. Heinz thought it would be fun to turn ketchup into neon art supplies. Green, purple, even blue ketchup. Kids squeezed it onto fries, eggs, even sandwiches, laughing as dinner turned into a science project. But to make those colors pop, Heinz loaded the bottles with artificial dyes like red 40, blue 1, and yellow 5. Those dyes have since been linked to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and long-term health concerns. Parents later blasted the product as chemical sludge in a bottle. Today, it's remembered less as a fun food and more as a cautionary tale. Sometimes, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Number 2. Orbit's drink. If you ever drank one, you remember it. Orbit's looked futuristic. A brightly colored fruit drink with little gelatin beads floating inside, like a lava lamp you could sip. The commercials promised a new dimension of refreshment, but the reality was slimy and unsettling. Those beads weren't just weird, they were potential choking hazards, especially for kids. Add to that a recipe loaded with sugar, stabilizers, and preservatives, and Orbit's was more lab experiment than drink. Parents hated the texture, kids were divided between fascination and disgust, and the drink was pulled within a year. Today, it lives on as one of the most bizarre beverage fails of the 90s. Proof that sometimes innovation belongs in the science lab, not the lunchbox. If you're still with us, you've already seen just how crazy the 90s snack aisle really was. But the worst is still ahead. Smash that like button and subscribe right now, because the #1 banned 90s snack wasn't just gross. It made national headlines. You don't want to miss this one. Number 1. Lay's Wow Chips. The most infamous of them all. Lay's Wow Chips promised all the crunch with none of the guilt, thanks to a miracle ingredient called Olestra. But what the ads didn't say was that Olestra blocked your body from absorbing vitamins and acted as a laxative on steroids. Within months of launch, reports flooded in. Cramps, bloating, and yes, the now legendary anal leakage. Stores were forced to post warning labels on every bag. A humiliating blow for a product meant to represent the future of snacking. But the scandal didn't end there. Nutritionists warned that regular consumption of Olestra could strip fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K from the body, raising risks for everything from weakened immunity to bone problems. Lawsuits stacked up, comedians roasted the brand on late-night TV, and Lay's Wow Chips became a punchline in pop culture. By the early 2000s, they were quietly pulled, leaving behind one of the fastest rises and falls in snack history. If the 90s taught us anything, it's that shortcuts in food science can backfire in ways no one forgets. So there you have it. 10 snacks from the 90s that would never survive today. From cookies disguised as healthy, to candies laced with lead, to chips that ruined pants across America, these snacks prove that the 90s were a wild west of junk food. Tell us in the comments, which one shocked you the most? And did you eat any of these as a kid? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And smash that bell so you never miss an upload. We'll see you again on the next episode of The Grease Trap.